are two clues to help you figure out where the tribal people group called the Bhils can be found. Camels and palaces, cows and crowds, elephants and snake charmers can all be found in this exotic country. If you lived in the United States and could see straight through the earth, you'd be looking right at this place. Do you know where it is? It's the country of India. India is in an area of the world called South Asia. Its neighboring countries are Pakistan, Bhutan, Bangladesh, Nepal, and Myanmar, which used to be called Burma. And oh yeah, China. India is shaped like a big ice cream cone. The Himalayan mountains at the top are cold and white with snow from some of the world's highest mountains. Below these big mountains, the land stretches out into plains and deserts, and then thick jungles and sandy beaches. The southern part of India is surrounded by the Arabian Sea, the Bay of Bengal, and the Indian Ocean. India is almost the same distance across, from east to west, as it is north to south.
Lots of people live in India. In fact, China is the only country with more people. India has some very large crowded cities, but most Indians live in small remote villages scattered all over the country. India is filled with different people groups, more than 3,000 of them. Many are tribal people groups. One of the largest tribal groups is the Bhil of Western India. The name Bhil comes from the word Bhili, which means bow. A long time ago, Bhil men were fierce warriors and used bows and arrows as weapons and to hunt wild tigers. Today, some Bhil men still use bows and arrows to hunt small animals. Bhils live in villages where houses are scattered far apart. Their houses are simple and made from mud, sticks, or rocks. During the hot months, Bhils move their beds, called charpoys, outside to sleep. This is usually their only furniture since they sit on the ground instead of on chairs.
Because Bhil homes don't have running water, women and girls have to go and collect water every morning and evening from community wells or springs. Girls learn when they are very young how to balance and carry the large, heavy water pots on their heads. While the girls are busy getting water with their mothers, boys help their fathers with the sheep and cattle. Most Bhils are farmers. Children and their parents often work in the fields all day long. Instead of tractors, animals are used to plow and harvest the fields. Bhil kids take care of the animals by gathering grasses to feed them and bringing them water to drink.
Corn is one of the main crops that Bhils grow. At harvest time, Bhil kids of all ages help to harvest the corn. They pound the cobs and break off the dried kernels to feed to the animals or to grind into flour. They use the corn flour to make a flat pancake-like bread called a chapati. Bhil women make chapatis for every meal. Children sometimes help roll out the dough. Then it is cooked over an open fire. Daughters grind vegetables and spices that will be made into a curry stew and eaten with the chapatis. Bhils usually eat their food from a plate made of leaves that are woven together with sticks. Could you imagine having dinner sitting on the ground and eating with your fingers from a plate of leaves?
Throughout India, many people speak English, or India's national language called Hindi. Each state in India has its own language, and many people groups do too. The Bhil speak a language called Bhili. Some Bhil children go to school to learn how to read and write Hindi and Bhili, and to study math, science, and history. If you were a Bhil kid living in India, though, you probably wouldn't go to school. Most Bhil kids don't, because their parents need them to help with chores, farming, or caring for their brothers or sisters instead.
When Bhil kids aren't doing chores, they love to have fun. Kids often gather to play one of their favorite games, One is a stick game called Guli Danda, where kids take turns hitting a small wooden peg with a stick. When the peg is in the air, they try to hit it again to see how far it will go. Another favorite game is called Sitolia. One kid throws a ball and tries to knock over a pile of 5 flat stones. Then he tries to pile up the stones again before another kid gets the ball and tags him out. Some Bhil kids really enjoy singing songs. They also learn traditional Bhil dances from their parents. Bhil kids have fun doing these dances with their friends.
Bhil women and girls wear lots of heavy silver jewelry, often from head to toe. Even some of the men and boys wear earrings. Brightly colored headscarves are worn by girls and women. They peek through these scarves or cover their faces with them when men who aren't in their family are nearby. A married woman wears a spot on her forehead called a bindi. Some older girls wear colorful bindis just for decoration. Whether Bhils are going to a special event or doing their chores, they always like to wear colorful clothes. Family is the most important part of a Bhil's life. Grandparents, parents, aunts, uncles, and children all live close to each other. Cousins grow up side by side, so they always have plenty of playmates. Parents adore their children, and Bhil children work hard to make their parents proud of them. Children respect their parents and care for them when they get old. Today, some missionaries are reaching out to the Bhils, but there are still very few Bhil churches. Most Bhil people have never heard who Jesus is. For hundreds of years, the Bhils have worshipped idols that they've made with their own hands. They also believe there are spirits in things like rocks and trees. Bhils pray and offer food to these idols and spirits because they're afraid that if they don't, something bad might happen to them.
When Bhils become sick, they often go to the village witch doctor, hoping he will help them to get better. How sad that they don't know there is a loving God who longs to heal them and meet their needs. God doesn't want the Bhil people to live in fear. He wants them to have peace. Let's pray that many more Christians in India and other countries would tell the Bhils about Jesus. Thank God that some Bhils have accepted Jesus into their hearts. Let's pray that God will help them to go and tell their friends and neighbors in other villages the great news. God has a special place waiting in heaven for lots of Bhils. Let's pray they will soon come to know Him.